Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. Jaguar, Wright, and Albie Shore got Kim Porter back in the news because they connecting the dots between Kim Porter and Angie Stone. And when I tell y'all it's a whole lot of similarities, they both hooked up with Diddy and Clive Davis. They both was getting ready to try to tell a story, and they both was looking for money that was owed to them by these record labels. Next thing you know, they both died mysteriously. People still don't know exactly what happened with Kim Porter. People still trying to figure out what's going on with this truck driver madness with Angie Stone. The last time I checked, if you work for a trucking company, they got cameras all around that truck. You ain't gonna be able to just turn in your rig and go the other way after you committed a murder of a famous person at that. Thank God for Jaguar, Wright, and Albie Shore. Y'all need to listen at what they talking about, because if they keep on talking like this, they gonna bring some justice, not only to Angie Stone, but to Kim Porter too.
Okay, so it looks like we might finally be getting to the bottom of Angie Stone's passing. And the more we find out about her, the shadier the situation looks. And at this point, it's starting to get nastier and nastier every single time we talk about this. When we first found out about Angie's death, we thought it was just a simple, tragic accident, no more, no less. But it didn't take long before the red flags started waving, and boy, were those flags bright red. First, everything we were told about the accident was a big fat lie. Then we found out about how the driver behind the wheel of the truck that killed Angie has suddenly gone missing, and a whole lot of other details that just didn't add up. Well, it didn't take long for Jaguar Wright to step in and confirm our suspicions, claiming that Angie's death was a setup and that it was no ordinary accident. But that's not all, because Albie Shore also hinted the same thing, and he took it a step further to hint that this might all be tied to the whole Diddy case. It looks like there might be more to this story than we ever thought possible, so let's break this down.
Sounds to me Diddy has something to do with Angie Stone, the same way people saying he took Kim Porter out the game. What I'm trying to figure out is why he messing with overweight R&B singers while he in jail. Don't he know that can get him more time? It's either Albie Shore telling stories or Jaguar Wright trying to sensationalize this Angie Stone situation just to get some more views on social media. But you can't put nothing past Diddy. He probably did have something done to Angie Stone.
When the drama started, we thought it was all about her fight with UMG. See, in the weeks before her passing, she revealed that she found out that UMG and were stealing from her. She revealed that the theft was the reason she continued to work hard and was unable to retire after so many years in the industry. She also claimed that she was taking them to court, saying, "I've just discovered something that's been hidden in the dark for too long. My publishing was stolen, and guess what? I know exactly who did it. But don't get it twisted, I'm coming for you. All the dogs who thought they can take what's mine, trust I'm ready." Just like Jamie Foxx said, what had happened was, well, now it's my turn to share my testimony. It's a new chapter, and you can bet the truth is coming to light. Stay tuned. Unfortunately, she never got to go to court before she passed away in the accident. And talking about the accident, there are so many red flags involved. For example, one of the people in the van with her at the time of the crash revealed that Angie was suspicious in the moments leading up to her death. She claimed that the driver had suddenly started speeding up, and when Angie told him to slow down, he refused. According to reports, Sharita Murphy, who was one of 8 people in the van with Angie Stone, expressed gratitude on her Facebook page. "We are blessed to be alive." She credits Angie Stone's calm demeanor during the ordeal, alleging the van driver's extremely fast driving caused Angie Stone to request he slow down, but he failed to do so, resulting in the van flipping 3 times before being struck by an 18-wheeler and claiming the life of Angie Stone. Contrary to the first reports that we got, Angie didn't actually pass away from the first crash when the van she was in toppled over. She was rescued by a bystander, but just as the bystander pulled her out of the van, a semi-truck came rushing by, brushing past the Good Samaritan and ramming into Angie, her on the spot. Now, you'd expect the driver of the truck to be investigated or something like that, right? Well, that's probably not happening anytime soon, because it's kind of hard to investigate a missing person. Yep, you heard that right. The driver of the truck that conveniently came at the right time and Angie has suddenly gone missing. An anonymous source said, "I used to work at the same trucking company as the fella who ran into the Sprinter van that hit Miss Stone while she was being tended to on the side of the road. She was thrown a few yards due to the impact. I don't think he is going to return to work, honestly. This thing has tormented him, and he's not responding to the company's texts or phone calls. My wife reached out to his wife to offer support after we learned he turned in the rig and left. My former boss says his explanation was that he came upon the wreck too fast to make an adjustment to dodge the wreck. As I look at all the details that I have at my disposal, something just doesn't sound right about this. I'm surprised he hadn't been drinking, because there is an extensive history of that. Well, I'm not acting as if I'm Perry Mason with the wherewithal to solve the case. Just thought I'd reach out. Yeah, this drama keeps getting shadier and shadier, and fans are convinced that there is a very high level of cover-up going on here, and it all ties back to Clive Davis.
Since everybody believe in stories like this, I'm gonna be on the lookout for Santa Claus this year. And I'm gonna pet one of the reindeers too, as soon as I get all my presents off of his sleigh. He ain't even gotta come down the chimney. I'm gonna be sitting on the roof waiting for Jolly St. Nick, cause I know he exists. If people willing to believe these stories about Angie Stone that they putting out there on the internet, the stories about the 18-wheeler, she got hit by one, the driver did a U-turn, came back and hit her again, and people taking this stuff to the bank, putting up receipts and things on social media. Me personally, I feel like Angie Stone's family love the fact that people coming up with all these rumors and stuff. That way, the public don't get the real story, because the public don't deserve the real story. Angie was suffering. People ain't give a damn. She was crying out for help a long time ago. Wasn't nobody even listening to her lives. She was doing lives. They had like 23 people up in there. Now you got millions of people trying to see what she was talking about now that she gone. Her family probably feel like, let them people believe what they want to believe. If they want to believe it was a car crash, it's better that than telling the public what really happened, because they don't deserve to know and they don't care nothing about nobody till they dead anyway. So go on, let them tell them stories and spread them rumors. You see, her family ain't speaking out against none of this stuff. I believe the reason why that is because they feel like y'all don't deserve to know.
This whole situation has folks side-eyeing and asking some real uncomfortable questions about what actually went down with Angie. It's been weeks since that tragic crash, yet there's been nothing. No real investigation, no meaningful updates, and no explanation that actually adds up. It's almost like her death was meant to quietly fade into the background, like she was here one day, gone the next, and everyone was just expected to move on without a second thought. But here's the thing, people are thinking about it, because the way this all unfolded, it's not sitting right. Something feels off. And according to Jaguar Wright, there's a lot going on, because Angie's passing was not an accident.
What do they want?
What do you mean? They want their payment. They want their pound of flesh. They want you to keep feeding the system. Doesn't matter how hard she worked for it. That's not her money. That's their money. That's what they do. They've been robbing me for years.
Yep.
They stole more money from me than they stole from Angie. I can't stop thinking about Nick Carter. And Aaron Carter. I can't stop thinking. Brother in the Illuminati, brother not in the Illuminati. Brother in the Illuminati commits all kinds of heinous crimes against women, and he's okay, but his brother's gone. And all he wanted was his money so he could push on. Like, how many of these things have to happen in front of the public? Of course they're going to attack, I'll be sure. Of course they're going to attack me. Of course they're going to attack anybody who's interested in the truth. Of course they're going to come at us really hard for that first 72 hours and make sure we stop posting, or at least get us flagged from being able to go live, so nobody thinks about the details of the fact that we just watched Angie Stone get moved around in real time on her son's birthday.
I never believed in conspiracy theories until I heard Jaguar Wright say that they stole more money from her than they did Angie Stone. I don't recall her having no #1 hits on the radio or having her own music video, and she probably did, but I don't remember it, and I couldn't tell y'all what the song was or what the lyrics to the songs were. Al B. Sure had some bona fide hits in the 80s. We didn't know if he was a Michael Jackson reject. We knew that Quincy Jones put him on the same way he did Will Smith. So I'm trying to figure out, how is he still relevant in all of this conspiracy stuff? Is it because he got a relationship with Jaguar Wright? She claimed that they allegedly met at freak-off parties back in the day. We know something was funny about Kim Porter passing, and we know Diddy probably had something to do with that, but to hear that Clive Davis and Diddy and the Uptown Records family got something to do with Angie Stone, this is blowing my mind.
But that's not all, because I'll Be Sure also has something interesting to say. See, a couple of days after Jaguar's passing, I'll Be Sure paid his respects to her on Instagram, but fans were convinced that he was secretly trying to pass a message about what really happened to Angie. He started off by saying, "I can't really gather my own thoughts at the moment to say anything close to describing the profoundly brave and amazing woman my sis star, Angie Stone, was, so I'll just let Angie say it to you all in our last text to each other." He went on to share a transcript from the text, and it was about the Diddy situation. Angie wrote, "Call me when you get a moment to chop it up with me. I've been praying hard for you ever since all this foolishness you've been saying for years finally been exposed and he gone down. I didn't realize just how much craziness you had actually gone through, and it's so unfortunate. Know that I'm praying for you and supporting supporting you on everything that you got going on. I pray that your son Quincy and yourself lock horn again, and he walks away from that whole ratchet situation. As the whole world know, he deserves to be with his biological father at this time. I know that Kim is resting in paradise. She is born a couple of days before me, so I know her spirit well. I know how she rolled, and I can assure you that she's been the one assisting you from the other side. Be blessed and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Peace and blessings, King. Now, if you know anything about I'll Be Sure and Diddy's history, then you know that him posting that text between him and Angie talking about Diddy was not a mistake. The text made it seem like he was close to Angie, so I'm sure they had lots of texts together. So the fact that he chose to post that specific text about Diddy makes his message loud and clear. Interestingly, a few months ago, Jaguar spoke about an encounter she had with Diddy where she asked her to pray for him because he was disturbed in his spirit.
I just happened to be in the studio this particular day, and because he never ever really bothered with me or spoke to me in that fashion, I wasn't a part of Uptown, I was just at MCA. On this particular day, I was coming off the elevator. I will never forget it as long as I live. And Puffy came to me, first time, speaking to me as a decent human being. And he said, "Hey, Miss Stone." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" He said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm shocked you speaking to me." He said, "Miss Stone, would you please pray with me?" I said, "Well, of course." When he asked me to pray with him, I believe at that moment Puffy was terrified for his life. I think that he was afraid because all of the things that had gone out and about that party, they were singling him out, and I don't think that he thought he was gonna survive.
Fans are adding two and two together, and it looks like Angie might have known more about Diddy's situation than she let on. That might explain why I'll Be Sure made sure to tie Diddy to the situation. If there is one person I'll Be Sure hates most in the world, it's definitely Diddy. So you can bet that him dragging Diddy into this was definitely not a coincidence or a mistake. But I want to know how y'all feel about these new revelations against Angie's death that are coming to light. Do you think that there's a conspiracy going on here, or do you think that it was just an accident and nothing?
Y'all can't believe everything y'all hear on the internet, but when it comes to Angie Stone, we don't know what to believe. But I personally believe that her family all right with these rumors. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Let the internet go crazy. They don't need to know the truth. Y'all don't need to know the truth. Y'all don't need to know what was really going on with Angie Stone. She no longer here, and that's all y'all need to know about it. It's shady. But what the public gonna do besides talk? Run y'all mouths, run all mouths all day about some people that we ain't never even met. So rest in peace to Angie Stone. Diddy probably did have something to do with it. Clive Davis probably did have something to do with it. We don't know. All we can do is allegate and speculate. And we've been online ever since she passed doing exactly that. Jaguar Wright, she speaking on it. L.B. Short speaking on it. The whole world speaking on it. I guess that's what we supposed to do. I guess that's what we gonna do. Talk about stuff. That's what I do. That's why I'm on YouTube, to talk about the stuff. But I want to say rest in peace to Angie Stone, man. And to her family. Y'all know what's really going on. Keep it to yourselves. Y'all ain't got to tell nobody what's happening. That's between y'all, Angie Stone, and God. Because people ain't going to do nothing but make entertainment out of it. Now they trying to put Kim Porter, Angie Stone, P. Diddy, Clive Davis, Jaguar Wright. You even got Monique and Tyler Perry mixed up in this thing. I just don't understand it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. I got so much love for y'all. And one more thing before I go. Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up, poke out your rump. It's S.A.T that you want, and my music hit so hard, make you say, oh my God.